Oh my god. Make a clip of that?
No shit.
Right there, smoothly in down the back straightaway. 3-car lengths separating. Big send on the inside. Kyle Terzak up the racetrack. Contact between the two, and it's going to be Braxton DeWeese winning here at Nashville. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the WD Broadcasting Network. We are back at the new Smyrna Speedway getting ready for race number 2 of the Leave the Pack Super Series season. Look at the schedule up on screen. Last week we were at the Kern County Raceway Park where we saw Carter Russo take the victory. We had 80 laps in total. There was 75 scheduled through a green-white checkered in there. It was 80. There was 8 caution flags, which made 37 laps. Hopefully we don't see a replica of that tonight. But it was a fun race, even down to the wire. Let's take a look at a replay of the final lap from last week. The final 2 laps, rather, the overtime restart. Mark Keedeman and Carter Russo, who had been battling the entire race. Keedeman gave it one final stab at it as Russo got loose down the back straightaway. Keedeman went up the racetrack then, tried the outside lane, something you oftentimes don't see, led across the line for the white, and they battled down into turns 1 and 2, into 3 and 4. I thought Keedeman might have had a shot at it. Russo drove it in deep, though, kind of moved the two up the racetrack, forced Keedeman to run the whole racetrack up top, and Russo was able to sneak out the victory there at the end, but definitely one heck of a finish to race number 1. Obviously, like I said, hopefully we get a little bit cleaner racing. Brandon Elvis making his way on track for qualifying. Carter Russo, your winner last week, a 3-time Leave the Pack iRacing League winner. These guys are given 5 minutes to qualify. They are also given 3 laps to see what kind of lap they set. Often you'll see drivers not like that first lap time. They'll drive up to the outside of turns 3 and 4 and reset for another lap. But Russo likes his first lap time. He'll put it top of the board in the 21 machine, shut it down, and likely reset and try to get another lap. But Russo right now sitting on the top of the board. James Pileski, the driver out of Sussex, Wisconsin, comes around to see the checkered flag. Pileski going to end up in the 5th spot, a 17:50 on that last time around. Ryan Dunkelberger, who had a pretty eventful race last week, ended up in the 6th spot when it was all said and done. Trouble out of turns 1 and 2 right there. He'll end up in the 6th position. Jeremiah Woods in the 222 machine, making his 2nd start of the season. Finished 7th last week at Kern County. Started in the 18th spot. He's going to start from the 11th position, it looks like, as of right now. We'll see as qualifying progresses. Chris Smith in the 80 machine led a lot of laps in tonight's Street Stock Showdown race a little while back. But Smith going to come around to see the white flag. Did not get a lap time in on lap number 1. So he will reset once again. Smith not liking either of his first 2 laps. The pressure is going to be on right here to see if he can deliver that lap time. As Smith down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. A little bit of a wiggle through the center of 3 and 4 right now. Across the line. Chris Smith going to put the 80 machine 8th quick. Justin Coleman in the 14 machine. Comes across the stripe right there. Getting the white flag. He's in the 16th spot so far. David Lux is trying to get his laps done down in the grass in turns 3 and 4. Not sure what was happening there, but Coleman across the stripe going to end up in the 16th position. As it looks like qualifying going to come to a close. It'll be Carter Russo picking up the pole. Last week, Mark Keedeman was able to pick up the pole. Keedeman second here in qualifying. Brian Gravel third in the 22. But we will get a word from Carter Russo up in the voice chat. Carter Russo up in the broadcast booth for the second time here this evening. How we doing?
Good, buddy.
Alrighty, well, on the pole here for tonight's Leave the Pack Super Series race at New Smyrna Speedway. Second in the street stocks. You have 50 laps under your belt here tonight. We've got 100 laps here in the Supers. What can you do to keep the tires underneath that race car and be there for all 100 laps?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a riding fest, that's for sure. Man, this thing is so loose. You barely drive it in too deep, or you're going the brakes too hard. You're spinning out. So I'm just gonna try and keep Mark behind me and keep the tires underneath it at the same time, and I think we'll be pretty good. So long race, so you know how it is.
Yeah, definitely going to be a long race here. 100 laps at the New Smyrna Speedway. There's a lot of good names up inside the top 10 here tonight. We wish you luck in this 100-lap race, Carter, but nonetheless, congratulations to you on your pole here this evening.
Thank you.
Alrighty, folks, that was Carter Russo, driver of the 21 machine. We'll see if he can't collect his second victory of the season. He's going to be rolling off from the top spot. Back behind him, or next to him, rather, it will be Mark Keedeman in the 2 machine. Starting second, Brian Grable in the 22 will roll off third. Brandon Elvis in the 54 machine going to start fourth. Zach Murphy in the 29 going to roll off fifth. Caleb Thompson in the 04 starts from the 6th position. James Pileski in the 7th spot. Chris Smith going to roll off from the 8th spot in the 80 car. Ryan Dunkelberger in the 26 will start 9th. Brandon Bledsoe will start from the 10th position in the 47. Brady Cox going to roll off 11th in the 76, with Jeremiah Woods Jr. to his outside. Back behind them, it will be Jake Brooks in the 57, with Angel Ortega to his outside. John Piet in the 5 will roll off 15th next to Justin Coleman in the 14, who will start 16th. Brandon Kelly in the 9 starts 17th, with Justin Elvis in the 44 to his outside in the 18th spot. Bugsy May will start in the 19th spot in the 28 car, with Lewis Flowers in the 62 to his outside. Then back in the 21st position, 2 drivers that did not get a qualifying lap in, David Lux in the 104 and Wade Enyart in the 210. But we will send 22 cars to the green. You see the field lined up right there on the front straightaway. Should be a pretty exciting race. As Russo and Keedeman work their way onto the racetrack. They were the 2 to beat last week. Granted, there was some carnage throughout the rest of the field, but those 2 had a little bit more than the rest of the field all night long. We'll see if they can replicate that here tonight. as they come around to get the 1 to go signal. It'll be Russo taking the bottom lane on this first start. As the lights are off on the iRacing.com pace car. Russo and Keteman lined up. Brian Grable, Brandon Elvis, Zach Murphy, Caleb Thompson behind through the restart zone. The green is out. The green is up. We are underway here at New Smyrna. A good start there from Martin Keteman. He's going to take the lead into turns 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway they go for the first time here tonight. Everybody trying to settle in as quickly as they can. Things are tight and they happen fast here at the New Smyrna Speedway. Lap number 1 to be led by Mark Keteman. Keteman leads down the back straightaway. They battle back behind for the 7th spot. James Pileski right there in the 93. Meanwhile, up front, Brandon Elvis thought about sneaking underneath Russo. And oh, we've got trouble on the front stretch already. Zach Murphy up the racetrack in the 29. I think I saw Brady Cox maybe or Ryan Dunkelberger down in the grass as well. But the caution flag flies here early on, 2 laps in. As we'll look at what happened to Zach Murphy. I think Thompson got the wall. As the caution flag is out. Look one more time to see what happened. We'll go on board with the 29. On board with Murphy right here. You see the stack up in front. There's nowhere for James Pileski to go. He was in the throttle in the 93. Dunkelberger in the 26 went down. Pileski was on the racetrack. Cox got him back over at the 76. Around they went. But under caution for the first time here tonight. Getting the 1 to go signal. So the caution flag out for the first time here tonight. 6 laps in, and we are going to send this field back. Green flag racing is in the hands of Mark Keteman in the 2. He goes nice and early through the zone. The green flag is back out and back underway. Brian Grable, who was in the 4th spot, got a big jump down into turns 1 and 2. He's going to take the spot around Brandon Elvis. Move Grable into 3rd. Spot up front. We've got a battle for the lead, though. Mark Keteman and Russo battle for that top spot. And the caution flag is back out. Big time trouble in turns 3 and 4. Jake Brooks drove over the camera right there. Not sure what happened. Coleman and Brooks were battling for leave the 9th spot. Brooks was up into the wall. Nothing the 47 of Bledsoe could do. We'll look at it one more time from Bledsoe's perspective in the 47. Brooks was up the racetrack into the outside wall. Nothing that the 47 car could do. So the caution flag flies once again. A couple cars down pit road. Wade Enyart in the 210 machine. Jake Brooks in the 57. Down pit road. Bugsy May in the 28. Also off the pace. David Lux in the 104 machine did not make it to the grid in time. Not going to be able to start this one. It's a tough break for the 104 of Lux. James Pileski in the 93 machine started in the 7th spot here tonight. Some damage on the right front of that race car. Tough break there. Had some speed in practice. Brady Cox in the 76 car. Up 6 positions from his 11th place starting position. So we will head down the back straightaway. The lights are back off. We are to send him back. Green flag racing. It is in the hands of Mark Keeteman in the outside lane. Watch for Brandon Elvis in that 4th spot. The money position here at New Smyrna. The green flag is back out. We're back underway. Carter Russo going to defend for a second into turns 1 and 2. They go. Elvis way up the racetrack. Nearly 3 wide there as Brian Grable got a good run on the outside. Brady Cox going to shuffle back to 5th. Here comes Chris Smith in the 80 machine trying to take over the 6th spot. Contact there. Smith down the racetrack. I think Thompson might have gotten loose up on the outside. Thompson going to take over the 6th position back. As they work around turns 3 and 4, Mark Keeteman still your race leader. He's got a couple car lengths over Carter Russo in the 21 car. Zoo back behind Zach Murphy. Might have gotten the back bumper of Justin Coleman right there. Coleman sideways in the 14 machine. Last time we saw a little bit of trouble. Back behind Ryan Doberberger, John Piette in the 5 machine. Around. Not sure what happened there. The 26 and the 5 battling for the 12th spot. I think the 26 machine might have gotten loose. Came down the racetrack a little bit. Not sure what happened, but we'll get one more look from behind. See if we can't tell the story right here. Yeah, it's very hard to tell. We'll get a slow-mo look at it here. Up off the corner. You see the 26 kind of coming down the racetrack. He looks sideways there. I think there's contact with the 5. Around they go. And under caution for a 3rd time here tonight. As Keeteman will come back to see the 1 to go signal right here. You have 16 cars on the lead lap. As Brandon Bledsoe enters the pits in the 47. Keeteman out front. He led a lot of the laps at Kern County last week. In fact, led 62 of the 80 laps there. Picked up the bonus point for most laps led. He's trying to do that here tonight. He has led all 20 so far. Took the lead on lap 1 from Carter Russo, who started on the pole in this one. As the field gets the 1 to go signal. We're going to line him back up single file behind the iRacing.com pace car to try and get some laps in here under green. As Kedeman, Russo, Elvis, Gravel, your top 4 line up behind the iRacing.com pace car. It pulls pit side. We're through the restart zone. We're back racing. Down into turns 1 and 2. Mark Kedeman, your race leader, single file still. He's able to peek ahead just yet. Down into turns 1 and 2. Everybody able to get some breathing room now. Brian Grable trying to get around Brandon Elvis for the 3rd spot. Elvis right there, up 1 position from where he started in the 4th position. Restarts to LTP all night long. We've got Val out back for the 11th spot. James Molesky able to get around Justin Elvis and Angel Ortega. Up in front of them, Jeremiah Woods Jr. trying to make something happen around Justin Coleman for the 9th spot. Chris Smith in the 80 underneath Caleb Thompson. Oh, there's contact right there. Smith on the bottom side. Heck of a save. Held onto that race car. Nearly saw the 80 of Chris Smith go around. This contact underneath Caleb Thompson. I think just a racing deal between the two right out of space. Smith did a heck of a job hanging onto that race car. We are still under green. Back behind Angel Ortega underneath Justin Elvis in the 48 Ford machine. Battle for the 13th spot. Ortega down on the bottom. Tough to pass here, even in the super late models. The bottom lane gets a little bit more of an advantage in turns 3 and 4, but in 1 and 2 you were just able to keep the momentum up. Because especially as the tires get more and more heated, it's very difficult to pass here at New Smyrna. As we work through turns 3 and 4, Mark Kedeman has a 0.6 second advantage across the stripe that time. Russo in the 2nd spot, starting to get a little bit of a pressure from the 54 of Brandon Elvis. These two battled last week at Kern County in the street stock division. They battled tonight in the street stock division. No shock to see these two battling once again here in super late model competition. Ryan Grable right now running in the 4th spot. This is a good, tame way to start this week in the Super Division. Last week, Grable ended up qualifying. Grable qualified in that 2nd spot, ended up with a 13th place finish. Definitely did not get the run that his speed had. Good right now in that 4th place starting position. Qualified 3rd here tonight, so definitely has some speed in qualifying. Glad to see Grable doing a lot better here in the race tonight. Look a little bit further back, Brady Cox in the 76 machine running in the 5th spot here tonight. Did not make a start last week at Kern. So the first start of the season for Cox in the 76. Doing fairly well right now in the top 5. Thompson back behind him, finished 9th at Kern last week, qualified 9th. Had a pretty tame run in the 04 machine, which is a lot more than a lot others could say. Kern was definitely not a tame race, so a tame run there was a win in most books. Up front, we look at the lap times the last time by. Very, very close throughout your top 3 to 4. It starts to fall off a little bit from there. Brady Cox in the 5th spot. You see a little bit slower that last time by than the rest of the field. It can be tough to keep these cars consistent over the course of a long run, and you definitely see comers and goers similar to what we saw in the street stocks earlier on. As you saw at one point, Elvis was right there on the back bumper of Carter Russo. Russo now opening up that gap a little bit. Actually a little bit faster than Mark Keedeman these last couple laps. Behind Battlefield, 6th spot. Chris Smith down low underneath Caleb Thompson trying to take over that position. Here comes Zach Murphy trying to take advantage as well. Down on the bottom. Pass right there. Justin Coleman also lined up behind. Sideways there, out of turns 3 and 4. You got to watch how many times you do that, especially here in the super late models. It is very easy to overheat those right side tires, and these guys do not get another set down in the pits if they want. So you got to finish the race on these tires, which means you got to be nice to them all 100 laps. So we're still under green here. Mark Keedeman opening up that gap to just under a second. Russo starting to slip back once again into the clutches of Brandon Elvis and Brian Grable. Elvis, no stranger to super late models in the 54 machine. Our champion last season in the All-Star Racing League Gary Ellis Performance Super Series. Picked up 6 wins along the way. That's right, 6 in a 12-race season. Definitely has speed in that 54 machine. Running in the 3rd spot right now. He's keeping Carter Russo close in that 21 machine. Grable's right there in the 22 as well. 3-car group right there. We'll look a little bit further back. Angel Ortega trying to take the spot away from James Pileski. Pileski battling with Brandon Kelly. That's that spot just shy of the top 10. Kelly in the 11th position trying to defend James Pileski in the 93. When you get at this course in the run, when you get at this point in the run, it becomes very tough to pass. Angel Ortega down to the bottom side. Ortega's going to go by the 93 machine of Pileski. Pileski with that right side damage is likely to come down and get it fixed when we get back, if we get back under caution. Back in front. Battle starting to way up before, sorry, not Battle. Lewis Flowers in the 62 machine going down a lap. So 15 cars remain on the lead lap. The last of those is up in front of the race leader, Mark Keedeman. Keedeman out front, about 7/10 of a second. Look back at Zach Murphy in the 29 machine. Last week he finished in the 3rd spot. Qualified in the 7th position, was there right at the end of the race when it mattered. Ended up with a podium finish in week 1 as the field sees the cross flags halfway in, halfway home this time. 50 laps in, 50 laps to go for Mark Keedeman. His lead is still around that 9/10 of a second mark. As John Piette has pulled the 5 machine down pit road. Not sure if there was an issue on the 5 or if he has called it a night, but down pit road, John Piette was running in the 15th spot. That leaves 14 cars now on the lead lap. So we work lap number 53. We're going to take a quick step away here on the WD Broadcasting Network, but you guys won't miss a thing as we will go to a WD Broadcasting Network non-stop. Be right back in just one moment.
think I watched Josh 3 or 4.
Alrighty, folks, we are back here on the WD Broadcasting Network. You guys have been watching the battle for the 10th spot. Jeremiah Woods Jr. in the 222 machine was up in the outside wall. Angel Ortega got to the bottom side, has not been able to make that pass just yet. Woods putting up a heck of a fight on the top side. Meanwhile, we look a little bit further up. Zach Murphy has continued to put pressure on the 80 of Chris Smith. That is for the 6th position right now. Up front, your race leader has extended his lead to 1.1 seconds. Mark Keedeman out front, trying to come back with vengeance, as he called it, after his victory was stripped last week after the contact in turns 1 and 2 with his teammate Carter Russo. Russo right now running in the 2nd spot in the 21. Look at the lap times from that last time by. Honestly, Keedeman still the fastest car on the racetrack, continuing to open up that gap. And that last time there, no exception. Just continuing to keep the hammer down. We've still got 34 laps to go, so still a bit of time left here at New Smyrna. But this long green flag run has really given these guys a chance to put some heat in the tires and fall off a little bit. As Angel Ortega does complete the pass for the 10th spot. Trouble for Brandon Kelly, who's down pit road right there. Off the pace, I should say. Not sure what happened to the 9 machine, but very much off the pace. The 5 machine makes his way back out onto the racetrack, trying to get some more laps in. Get a couple more positions. James Pileski in the 93 is calling it a night. Tough end to his day. As Mark Keedeman continues to show the way here. 70 laps in, 30 to go at the line for Keedeman. So back behind, a 2.5 nearly. Brandon Elvis starting to fall off a little bit. He's got nearly a 2.5 between him and Russo as well. There's some trouble out back. David Lux in the 104 machine. Around in turns 3 and 4. Not sure what happened. Lux was many, many laps off the pace. Looks like he lost it in turns 3 and 4. And around he went. Caution flag is out for the 4th time here tonight. A long green flag run right there. Really got a chance to stretch the legs of the field. Mark Keedeman was really stretching his legs in the 2 machine. We're going to go ahead and grab a word from Keedeman, who I'm sure was not happy about the caution flag right there. See if we can't get him up into the voice chat. Mark Keedeman up in the voice chat. Broadcast booth, you got a copy.
10-4.
Alrighty, well, Mark, you started in the 2nd spot in this one, wasted no time, drove around Carter Russo like he was sitting still on the initial start, and it's been a Mark Keedeman show ever since. We've got just under 25 laps to go when you get back around, and you're going to be green with around 20 to go. How are you feeling about these final 30 laps? Do you think you can get the job done?
Feeling pretty confident at the moment.
Just hope I don't see a replay of last week to get shipped out of the way after starting on the top. So I think we're all right. I really hated to see that caution come out. I'm pretty sure we were going to go to the end. That was a lot of fun there running those laps. So I think I saved the tires. Them two back there, Brandon and Carter, were battling kind of hard, and I was just out here running my race. So we're going to see what we got here for the final 25 or so, and hopefully we're going to be in the victory lane circle and talking to you again.
Alrighty, Mark. Well, you've had a good run so far, and hopefully we can, like you said, hopefully we can talk to you post-race, but we wish you luck in these final 25 laps. Going to be rolling off from that top spot.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yep. Alrighty, folks. That was Mark Keteman. Keteman going to elect that outside lane, and he's got Carter Russo to his inside. And remember the replay that we showed in the beginning of the broadcast. Keteman and Russo had that contact last week. Keteman mentioned it when we just talked to him there. It's on everyone's minds. What will we see down into turns 1 and 2? We're going to re-rack them and restack them, send them back green with 23 laps to go. Keteman and Russo through the restart zone. Good start there. Russo, a little bit of contact there on the start. Tried to get dead even with Mark Keteman. Down into turns 1 and 2, up the racetrack a little bit. Keteman going to try and use the momentum up on the top side. Into turns 3 and 4, it's a dogfight. Russo up the racetrack a little bit. Contact there. Keteman up the track. New leader at the line. It's going to be Carter Russo. Russo takes the lead with 22 laps to go. Mark Keteman going to try and take that spot back. He's clear for second. Gravel not able to get the job done on the bottom. Here comes Keteman in the second spot. We've got 21 laps to go. Russo's loose across the stripe that time. Nearly contact. Keteman with a bumper down into turns 1 and 2. Here comes Mark Keteman back to the bottom side of the racetrack. Russo tries to block the bottom side low. Into turns 3 and 4. Russo up the racetrack. Keteman sliding into 3 and 4. 20 to go. Crazy battle for the lead. Into 1 and 2 again. Keteman on the back bumper of Russo. A little bit of contact up off the corner. It's a door fest down the back straightaway. Keteman on the bottom, Russo up top, not trying to give the lead up just yet. 19 to go across the stripe. Keteman's going to take the top spot back, but Russo going to try and cross over down the back straightaway. Russo with a run down the back stretch. What can he do into turns 3 and 4? The bumper! Keteman slides. Keteman's going to save it. Here comes Brian Gravel to the inside. Russo up the racetrack. Gravel to the inside. He's going to take the lead with 18 to go. Brian Gravel takes the lead after contact between the K-Cars Race Cars teammates once again. As Brandon Elvis off the pace down the back straightaway, he's back to the 10th spot. Not sure what happened there. But Russo up into the wall. More trouble for the 21 machine, back to the 8th spot. What is happening here at the new Smyrna Speedway? Brian Gravel leads with 17 laps to go. We're coming back to 16 at the line. What can Mark Keteman do to try and take that top spot back? His tires might be a little bit hot after the contact into turns 3 and 4. The sideways moments. He's got 16 laps to get back to the 22's rear bumper and make that pass. We've got 15 to go at the line. Chris Smith will get him into the 3rd spot in the 80 machine. Justin Coleman up into the top 5. He started 16th in this one. Carter Russo back to the 8th spot. Brandon Elvis back to the 9th position. Not sure what happened to the 54. We saw Russo get up into the wall. But the chaos unfolded there on that restart. Oh, contact. Zach Murphy in the 29 machine gets tagged by Angel Ortega. Murphy gets it back going on the bottom side. The caution flag not going to fly. Tough break for Zach Murphy, who's running in the 10th spot. And Ortega goes around. And the caution flag is going to come back out for a 5th time here tonight. A crazy, crazy turn of events right there. Brian Gravel takes the race lead. We'll see what happened to Brian Gravel. looks like up off the corner. I think Carter Russo might have gotten into the back bumper, sorry, the right rear quarter panel, rather, of Angel Ortega. We'll get it one more time from the 00's perspective. You see the 21 loose up off the corner, and I think he might have just came down across the racetrack. We'll go back and watch that restart one more time when all of the crazy events happened there. Did not expect any of that to happen. But here is that contact one more time. You see Keteman and Russo into turns 3 and 4. Keteman looked like he had the advantage there. You saw Russo come back to the bottom side, and here was the contact that did it right there. Russo went up the racetrack. Everybody did a great job of saving the race cars and keeping them in the right direction. Brian Grable went through to the lead. He held that lead. We have 10 laps to go. Let's grab a word from Brian Grable in the 22 machine. Brian Grable up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, well, after that chaos unfolded in front of you between the two race leaders, you inherited the race lead after a little bit of a battle with Mark Keteman in the 2 machine. With 9 laps to go right here, what can you do in these final couple laps after the restart to hang on and pick up your first ever Leave the Pack Super Series victory?
Well, I've been watching Keteman all race because I've been sitting back here in 3rd or 4th, and he's really struggling with drive off here, so I'm really focused on getting in the corner good and get off good, and I believe if I can get off good and get a good gap and keep that gap where I want it, I think I'll be good, you know. I feel like people are going to get really antsy here, so I'm hoping it stays green when I get a good gap, and we'll see what happens tonight, but I'm going to try to park it tonight. 2 top 3s this week. Didn't get to make the street stock race, so we're going to see what happens. I'm going to take the top, Keteman. Sorry.
Alrighty,
I'm up in the broadcast booth. Sorry, Winston.
Nope, you're all good, bud. Alrighty, well, you are 1 to green. Going to come back to 7 laps to go. We wish you luck, Brian, and hopefully we can talk to you after this one.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, folks, that was Brian Grable, driver of the 22 machine. Mark Keteman in the 2. He is going to be hungry for that top spot. We've got 7 laps to go. The pace car is off. Through the restart zone we go. Green flag is out one more time here in New Smyrna. Down into turns 1 and 2. Brian Grable gets a good start. Brady Cox way up the racetrack in the 76. They're going to be 3 wide back behind, maybe. Elvis way loose in the 54 machine. Everybody's swerving all over the back straightaway. I think everybody got through cleanly. We'll have 6 laps to go for Brian Grable at the line. 6 more times around for Brian Grable to hang on at the new Smyrna Speedway to pick up his first Lead the Pack Super Series victory. Keteman's in the wall. Chris Smith going to go through to the 2nd spot. Here comes Brady Cox in the 76, trying to take the 3rd position. Keteman's in the wall again. Tough break for Mark Keteman. Back to the 6th spot. Mark Keteman into the 6th position. And around they go in turns 3 and 4. No caution flag is out. We are still clean and green. Not sure what happened in turns 3 and 4. We'll take a look at it post-race. But 3 laps to go as they come back across the stripe for Brian Grable. 3 more times around. Brian Grable's got a 0.6 of a second advantage over Chris Smith. Brady Cox trying to hang on to the 3rd spot. Popsicle 6 this time. 2 laps to go for Grable in the 22. We're watching the battle right here for the 3rd position. Justin Coleman taking a peek to the inside once again. Brady Cox trying to hang on to the podium. White flag is out. 1 more lap to go for Brian Grable. Final time around here at the new Smyrna Speedway. The 22 machine of Brian Grable down the back straightaway. He's got half a second advantage over Chris Smith. And through turns 3 and 4, it is going to be Brian Grable taking the victory here at New Smyrna. across the stripe. Chris Smith going to come home second. Brady Cox third. Brandon Elvis came home fourth. Justin Coleman fifth. But Brian Gravel walks away your winner. Mark Keedeman comes home sixth. A tough break there. Keedeman had a great run going in the 2 machine, led many, many laps in this one, but once again just did not get the finish to show for it. Unfortunate break there. But Brian Gravel going to burn it down on the front straightaway. We're going to take a quick step away here on the WD Broadcasting Network. We will be right back with a word from our top 3 finishers before we wrap things up here at the new Smyrna Speedway. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh
and to
goodness.
The line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Alrighty, folks, we are back here on the WD Broadcasting Network. We are going to grab a word from our top 3 finishers and wrap things up here from the new Smyrna Speedway. Going to grab our 3rd place finisher first. Brady Cox up into the booth. You get a copy?
Yes, I do.
Alrighty, Brady. Well, a fun race for the 76 machine here tonight. Started in the 11th position. You were able to work your way up through the field. You were running in the 5th spot for a long time there during that long green flag run. And you were able to obviously work your way up through those final couple positions and work your way into the 3rd position at the end of it. How do you feel after 100 laps at New Smyrna?
I mean, I really wish we didn't get that yellow flag on that long run. My car was starting to come to me, and I felt like I was possibly going to get up to the gravel. But yeah, I'll take a 3rd. Got a few incidents, but with a banged up race car, 3rd's pretty good, so.
Yeah, banged up race car oftentimes does finish 3rd. Sometimes just getting it across the line will get you a podium finish in the way some of these races go. And like you said, you were luckily able to avoid most of the controversy and work your way onto the podium. Who do you have to thank, Brady, for a podium finish here tonight at New Smyrna?
I got to thank my buddy Justin. He was spotting me all night, telling me other guys' lap times and telling me to not push it, keeping me in my own head. My dad for watching, and you for hosting the league and broadcasting so everyone could see.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you, Brady, on your 3rd place run here tonight. Next week we head to the IRP, or to the Indianapolis Raceway Park. Going to be a fun one there. That's one of my favorite tracks. It's going to race good in supers. How are you feeling going into there with a little bit of momentum?
I've never raced it in a Super, so it'll be the first time for me. But I've raced it in a truck and Xfinity car, and I've done decent there. So I hope that that can transition to the Super late, and I can hopefully be here again next week.
Alrighty, well, you ran there second last season in the super late model, so hopefully you can replicate that kind of run there next week, or ran there second last season in the street stocks, rather, sorry. But hopefully you can replicate that success there next week. But until then, congratulations to you on your third place run here tonight, and hopefully we can talk to you later next week.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, folks, that was Brady Cox, driver of the number 76 machine, your third place finisher here tonight. Now to grab a word from Chris Smith. Chris Smith, up in the broadcast booth, you got a copy.
Yes, sir, I got you.
Alrighty, well, a hectic night here, and a hectic night for the 80 machine. Still a good run, though. Came from the 8th place spot, ended up in the 2nd place position. Tell me how your race went.
Yeah, man, I was just, during practice, I'd be happy with the top 10, honestly. Luckily, just kind of snuck in there, honestly.
Yeah, sometimes it is better to be lucky than it is to be fast, and you needed that here tonight. A lot of good contenders got shuffled towards the rear there late in the run. A lot of the front runners that we saw most of the race, Kiedemann, Russo, Elvis even got shuffled to the rear there. Luckily, the 80 machine was able to steer clear and bring it home in the 2nd position ultimately. Who do you have to thank for the 2nd spot here tonight?
Thanks my wife let me do this. Say hey to my dad and my grandma. I know they're watching. Elvis Coleman Racing, Chastain Law Firm, Barry Elvis Performance Fabrication, Coastal Performance Shop, Coleman Designs for the sweet paint, and thank you for broadcasting.
Alrighty, Chris. Well, congratulations to you on a 2nd place run here tonight at the new Smyrna Speedway, and we wish you luck at IRP next week.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. Alrighty, folks. That was Chris Smith. Now to grab a word from our winner here tonight. We talked to him a little bit before that final restart, but he came home with the victory. Brian Gravel up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, well, we talked to you before the finish of that one. You had a game plan on how to hold off Mark Kiedemann. Luckily, there was some battling and some chaos back behind you on that restart, so you got a little bit of a break there. Didn't have to push real hard at the end, but you got a good gap, kept the car in one piece, got it across the line with the victory here tonight. I'm going to have to send you a little bit of money later on for your victory, but congratulations to you, Brian. How do you feel?
I feel really good. I didn't really expect to win it because I knew Mark was faster than me. I just knew where he was struggling, but I happened to be going down the back straight away, and I happened to glance in my rear view, and I saw where he caught the wall, and I knew from there I had it. And, I just really felt good. I kind of just ran my own race. Right front really isn't there too much anymore. I'm kind of itching to see what that was at. But I knew once that last caution come out, I was like, all right, I'm either not going to have a right front anymore by lap 5 with 5 to go, or I'm going to win it. So it happened to work out for me, and I've had top 3s this week, so it felt really good to finally win one.
Yeah, definitely good to get that first victory. And I think it's your first victory in Leave the Pack competition, if I'm not mistaken. You've had a couple, we'll call them pretty miserable runs at the beginning of the season. Definitely not the finishes to show the speed that you had. Luckily this week, I think, like you said, I think it was Monday night, you said I got the monkey off my back, got a 3rd place finish there, I believe. 2 podiums here tonight of win here in the super late model race. Just a great run for the 22 machine here tonight. Who do you have to thank, Brian, for a run like this in week number 2?
Again, I'd like to thank you for putting this on, man. It really means a lot. I'm glad to be able to come in here, have a good group of guys to race with, and a great guy running everything. I also got to thank Napa, RaceAPI.com, Scrub Out Cancer, Champs Auto Care, and Oliver Motorsports, man. It's been a pretty good week considering last week, so hoping to carry the momentum into next week at IRP.
Yeah, IRP definitely going to be a fun one. It's going to race a little bit similar here. Here is that top lane might be dominant, but I've seen people make that bottom side work too. But regardless, congratulations to you, Brian, on your victory here tonight, and we wish you luck in the rest of the season.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yep. Alrighty, folks, that was Brian Grable, your winner here at the new Smyrna Speedway. Gonna burn it down one more time as he drives off into the abyss. As we get our final finishing results up on screen. Brian Grable, your winner in the 22 machine. Chris Smith comes home second. Brady Cox, third in the 76. Brandon Elvis, fourth. Justin Coleman comes home fifth in the 14. Mark Keedeman, who led so many laps tonight, comes home sixth. Jeremiah Woods in the 7th spot. Justin Elvis, 8th. Carter Russo, 9th. Zach Murphy, 10th. Caleb Thompson comes home 11th. Brandon Kelly, 12th. Angel Ortega, 13th. Lewis Flowers, 14th. Brandon Bledsoe, 15th. James Pileski, 16th. 17th for John Piette. Ryan Dunkelberger comes home 18th. Jake Brooks, 19th. Bugsy May, 20th. Wade Enyart, 21st. And David Lux, 22nd. I think that's going to do it for us here tonight and this week for Leave the Pack and the WD Broadcasting Network. Actually, not for the WD Broadcasting Network. We'll be back tomorrow night for the All-American 100 at Nashville Fairgrounds. Late model stocks right here on the WD Broadcasting Network. That is the Big T Motorsports All-American 100. Part of the original All-American 400 weekend. Going to be a fun one. Then Friday night, I will be behind the wheel of a super late model at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway trying to qualify for the original All-American 400. And then hopefully we'll be streaming Saturday night's race at Nashville. It's going to be a fun one. Putting in a lot of effort behind the scenes practicing and whatnot to get everything ready for that race. But that is going to do it for us here tonight at the new Smyrna Speedway. I thank everybody who watched this race and the rest of the races this week. I am your host, Winston Deal, signing it off from the WD Broadcasting Network. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.